reminders to drivers. Today, a surprise announcement from the Premier.
We're getting rid of the re-registration. It'll be automatically re-registered, so people won't have to worry about that at all.
The change baked into legislation to be introduced at Queen's Park next week as MPPs return from winter break. The slip came as the Premier visited a gas station to rail against the carbon tax.
It's making life more unaffordable for people right across the board.
And reveal another part of that coming omnibus bill.
This new legislation will require future provincial governments to hold a referendum before imposing a carbon pricing scheme.
Taking swipes at the rookie Liberal leader in her hometown of Mississauga.
My record couldn't be more different than Bonnie Crombie's. She supported the carbon tax right from the start. She's the queen of carbon tax.
This is get back on track legislation.
A stunt that political analyst Scott Reid says gives progressive conservatives a 2-for-1 deal the day after a tough loss in the courts on Bill 124.
He gets to fight a very unpopular tax, and he gets to wedge Bonnie Crombie, the new Ontario Liberal leader, by associating her with the federal Liberal carbon tax.
Forcing Crombie to say whether she supports carbon pricing or wants to part ways with the federal Liberals and reject it.
Ford knows that if he loses in the next election, it'll probably be to Bonnie Crombie. He wants to stop her before she gets started.
Bonnie Crombie calls this all a distraction, writing, "Desperate Doug is clearly trying to distract from his repeated failures with grandstanding ploys about federal debates," adding maybe the Premier should have had referendums on changes to health care, the Green